Buckle those chin straps because we're charging headfirst into some blazing hot news fresh from the Cleveland Browns training camp. Picture this: a fifth-round rookie quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, striding onto the gridiron at First Energy Stadium on September 7th, 2025, locking eyes with the Bengals defense like he owns the arena. We're talking about a young gun with the swagger and skill to etch his name into NFL history as one of the rare few drafted in the fifth round or later to start in week 1, something that hasn't happened since the disco era. The Dawg Pound is erupting, the NFL world is watching like it's a primetime thriller, and Cleveland's quarterback saga, it's sizzling hotter than a tailgate grill in July. So let's unravel this electrifying rumor, decode what it means for our Browns, and get you fired up for the 2025 season. Grab your orange and brown. This one's going to have you barking all the way to kickoff. All right, Dawg Pound, let's cut through the noise, and because this update is downright earth-shaking. And the Browns stunned the 2025 NFL Draft when they aggressively traded up in the fifth round to snatch Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado with the 144th overall pick. This wasn't just a draft move, it was grand larceny. Some analysts projected Sanders as first-round material, but he plummeted to day 3. The Browns didn't blink, and they stormed in like a heat-seeking missile, securing a quarterback with top-tier potential. And now, the rumor mill is in overdrive, with whispers that Sanders could shock the league by starting week 1, a feat so rare that only a handful of QBs drafted in the fifth round or later have accomplished it since the 1967 merger, the most recent, Dak Prescott in 2016. The spark that ignited this frenzy? Live from Berea, where Sanders has been dominating OTAs and minicamp with the poise of a 10-year veteran. According to Mary Kay Cabot from Cleveland.com, Sanders is legitimately in the running for QB1, despite being listed 4th on the depth chart behind battle-tested Joe Flacco, redemption-seeking Kenny Pickett, and fellow rookie Pickett Gabriel. And here's the stat that'll make your jaw drop. The last time a quarterback drafted this late-started week 1 was Randy Hedberg, an 8th-round pick for the Bucks back in 1977. If Sanders is under center against the Bengals, he'll join an elite, almost mythical non-club. But let's not sugarcoat it. This won't be a walk in the park. Sanders hasn't seen first-team reps in 11-on-11 drills yet, with Flacco and Pickett monopolizing the action and Gabriel getting prioritized as a third-rounder. Still, Sanders is turning heads with minimal opportunities. One play that sent shockwaves through the camp, a 60-yard touchdown strike to rookie receiver Gage Larvadane during OTAs, a laser-guided missile that silenced any doubt about his draft position. Social media exploded, with fans and insiders proclaiming Sanders has already leapfrogged Pickett in the quarterback race. Vegas odds: Flacco sits at 60% to start week 1, but Sanders has surged to 25%, and not bad for a supposed developmental pick. Some insiders even suggest he's outperforming Gabriel in practice. No small feat considering Gabriel came in with Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year accolades. Make no mistake, the Browns quarterback room is a full-blown battleground. With Deshaun Watson sidelined indefinitely by a devastating Achilles tear, Cleveland's QB1 throne is wide open. You've got Flacco, the 40-year-old playoff warrior Pickett, the former Steeler seeking redemption, Gabriel, the undersized but fiery competitor from Oregon Sanders, the wild card with an NFL bloodline and a rocket for an arm. Let's talk credentials. Sanders racked up 4,300 plus yards, 37 touchdowns, and a 70.1% completion rate in his final college season. The guy can sling it, but scouts still question his pocket awareness. He took a whopping 52 sacks in 2024. The big question is whether he can adapt to NFL speed and complexity. But zoom out, Dawg Pound, because this is bigger than one quarterback. The Cleveland Browns have been trapped in quarterback purgatory since their 1999 return. We've cycled through 37 different starters. Yep, 37, from Tim Couch to Baker Mayfield to the polarizing Deshaun Watson. And let's be real, the Watson trade was supposed to end the drought, 3 first-round picks, $230 million guaranteed. Instead, injuries, controversy, inconsistency, even owner Jimmy Haslam publicly admitted it was a colossal mistake. And now Cleveland is desperate for a fresh chapter. Enter Shedeur Sanders. This isn't just a rookie story. This is football royalty. The son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Primetime Sanders, Shedeur grew up under stadium lights and sky-high expectations. From Jackson State to Colorado, he compiled over 10,000 passing yards and 99 touchdowns across 3 seasons, while showcasing elite arm talent and a coolness under pressure that drew Russell Wilson comparisons. So why the slide? This isn't just about Shedeur Sanders, and it's about what his story signals for the future of the Cleveland Browns, their evolving draft strategy, and how they're architecting the quarterback position for years to come. Historically, Cleveland has shown a mix of patience and boldness when it comes to quarterbacks. Think about how Baker Mayfield's career in orange and brown began, or the seismic move to bring in Deshaun Watson. Every turning point has been the result of strategic timing, careful evaluation, and occasionally risk-taking. So the real question becomes, is Shedeur Sanders Cleveland's next major project, or is he quietly being stalled by design? It's a question only the Browns coaching staff can truly answer. Inside the organization, Shedeur has built a reputation for grit, focus, and relentless work ethic. Reports suggest he's fully immersed, studying film, asking questions, and learning under veteran Joe Flacco. According to ESPN, Cleveland's Kimberly A. Martin, Sanders is absorbing everything like a sponge. That's exactly the mindset you'd want in your future franchise quarterback. But here's the reality. The NFL is a game of patience, strategy, and perfectly timed opportunity. So Browns fans, let's zoom out. What does all this truly mean for us? If Shedeur continues to excel in practice, it's only a matter of time before he earns his shot. The real question is when. Will it be this season, or are the Browns preparing a long-term blueprint, letting him develop quietly behind the scenes before launching him into the spotlight? These are the types of decisions that shape legacies and can alter the trajectory of a franchise for an entire generation, eerily similar to the path of Patrick Mahomes, who sat for a year behind Alex Smith before erupting into superstardom, or Joe Burrow, who had to gradually grow into the demands of the league. Sometimes patience breeds greatness. Other times, waiting too long can suppress it. And let's not ignore the landscape. The AFC North is a minefield. With juggernauts like the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers, every game is a war, and every decision under center is magnified. That's why the Browns coaching staff is likely walking a razor-thin line between immediate competitiveness and long-term vision. Look at the roster moves. The Browns have reinforced their offensive line, elevated their defense, and brought in dynamic playmakers at the skill positions. All that's missing now is a true leader at quarterback, someone who can deliver stability, explosiveness, and poise under pressure. Definitely not. I don't know if I've ever danced in public in my life. On the surface, it was harmless. Veteran rookie banter that offered fans a smile during the heat of June OTAs. But in Cleveland, in this quarterback room, that moment hit different. It wasn't just entertainment, it was chemistry. It was also the beginning of something more profound, something strategic, something revealing, because behind the laughs and the thousands of likes that followed, a quiet storm was brewing, one that could reshape this season and perhaps the next decade. You've got Shedeur Sanders, the son of Prime, arriving in Cleveland with confidence, composure, and a digital following the size of a small nation. But he didn't come here just to trend, he came to conquer. And standing in his path, Joe Flacco, the veteran tactician with a Super Bowl ring, Dylan Gabriel, a third-round pick known for his inconsistency, and Kenny Pickett, the unpredictable wild card. This isn't just a training camp battle. It's a war for the soul of the franchise. because lurking in the background are two potential top 10 picks in 2026. Think about that. If none of these quarterbacks can seize the throne, the Browns might have no choice but to use those picks chasing yet another quarterback. But if just one of them, just one, can rise above the fray, Cleveland can finally end the carousel and build around a true cornerstone. And here's where things get even more compelling. During recent OTA practices, reports emerged that Sanders looks sharp. Not just decent, not just promising, sharp. According to observers, he went 6 for 7 in second and third team reps, while Gabriel stumbled with a shaky 2 for 6. That sparked an online frenzy with fans asking the question, why isn't the most efficient quarterback getting first team reps? Nathan Zagura broke it down. This isn't just about completion percentages or pretty spirals. Sanders is still learning the NFL's complexities, the cadence, the command, the pre-snap reads, the post-snap decisions. Joe Flacco has 191 NFL starts. He's lived this rhythm for over a decade. Kenny Pickett has 25, Sanders 0. So while he's impressing the staff, he's still in the developmental phase for now. But patience doesn't mean indifference. Behind the scenes, Tommy Rees says Sanders is relentless. Joe Flacco, the seasoned warrior who propelled the Browns to an 11-5 record and a playoff berth in 2023, is back in the saddle. But let's be honest, at 40, he's a temporary fix, not the long-term answer. Kenny Pickett, acquired in a trade from Pittsburgh, was supposed to be a reclamation project. But with a 7-10 career record and inconsistent accuracy, he hasn't exactly won the hearts of Browns Nation. Then there's Dillon Gabriel, the third rounder out of Oregon. He brings dual threat capability and an impressive college resume, but his 5'11 stature and limited arm strength have some scouts labeling him a career backup before he's even taken a snap. And finally, Shedeur Sanders, last on the depth chart, but first in charisma, raw ability, and let's be real, market appeal. His number 2 jersey is already the top-selling rookie jersey in the entire NFL, and the prime effect has turned all eyes toward Cleveland like never before. Quarterback problems in Cleveland are nothing new, but this time the stakes feel heavier. Last season's 3-14 disaster exposed what happens when you don't have a steady hand at quarterback. The offense ranked 28th in scoring, averaging a paltry 16.7 points per game. The fans are starving for a spark, and Sanders just might be the lightning bolt. His college film shows elite potential, a quarterback who can extend plays, launch bombs, and rally teammates like a natural-born leader. But the NFL is a whole new jungle, and one filled with blitz-heavy defenses, elite disguises, and relentless pressure. Can he survive it, much less thrive in it? Why should you care, Dawg Pound? Because if Shedeur Sanders starts week 1, it wouldn't just be a personnel move, it would be a full-on paradigm shift. The Browns haven't had a Pro Bowl quarterback since Derek Anderson in 2007, and the hunger for a true franchise QB has turned into a full-blown famine. If Sanders steps onto the field against Cincinnati and delivers, we're talking about a rookie rewriting decades of disappointment. A week 1 win wouldn't just be a good start, it would set the tone for an entire season, especially in the ruthless gauntlet that is the AFC North, where the Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens are all locked in for war. But this isn't just about one Sunday in September. If Sanders starts, it marks the dawn of a new era in Cleveland. The potential is there to grow alongside rising stars like Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, and rookie phenom Gage Larvadain. The swagger, the composure, the ability to deliver under pressure. This kid could turn First Energy Stadium into a fortress again. Imagine the roar of the Dawg Pound as Sanders rifles a 40-yard touchdown strike through tight coverage. That's the electricity this fan base has been dying for, but let's not pretend it's without risk. If Sanders isn't ready and stumbles out of the gate, it could trigger another year of quarterback chaos. Cleveland's 2025 schedule is brutal. divisional cage matches against Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore, plus battles with the NFC North, the AFC East, the Raiders, the Titans, and a Super Bowl contending 49er squad, a rookie quarterback would need to grow up fast to survive that crucible. Cleveland's offensive line gave up 59 sacks last year. Starting Sanders too soon could wreck his confidence and fuel the skeptics who call him nothing more than Dayon's kid riding the hype. We've been here before. Hype, hope, heartbreak, but Sanders feels different. His production, poise under pressure, and early flashes in OTAs show a level of readiness most late-round QBs just don't have, are already declaring him QB1 by week 4, with some insisting he's outplaying Pickett in every session. Browns legend Hanford Dixon told 92.3 The Fan that Sanders is going to prove he's the guy before the season ends. Even ESPN's Dominique Foxworth boldly predicted Sanders will win the starting job outright, but not everyone's sold. ESPN insider Adam Schefter cautions that it's still a long shot, noting that late-round rookies rarely start week 1 unless injury forces it, like Dak Prescott replacing Romo in 2016. Kevin Stefanski is playing it close to the vest, repeating his mantra, "The reps will sort themselves out." Andrew Berry, ever the strategist, preaches patience, reminding fans that draft position doesn't define destiny, but we know how these battles go. QB competitions can ignite a team or burn it to the ground. Whether Sanders ends up under center or on the sidelines, his ability to absorb the playbook, learn from Flacco's veteran savvy, and maximize every single rep could determine his fate, and maybe the Browns' fate too. So let's talk straight, Dawg Pound. I'm torn, and I know you are too. On one hand, Sanders has that it factor, that rare blend of arm talent, composure, and confidence. His college film is electric. He can drop dimes to Judy in stride and stand tall against the blitz. That rare blend of arm talent, composure, and confidence. His college film is electric. He can drop dimes to Judy in stride and stand tall against the blitz. His presence is undeniable. He brings an energy to Cleveland that we haven't felt since Baker's rookie campaign. If he starts week 1 and lights it up, it could be the start of something transformational, but starting a 5th-round rookie on opening day is a bold move, even for a team desperate for a hero. Flacco has experience in a playoff run under his belt. Pickett, for all his flaws, has real NFL snaps. Gabriel's mobility makes him a wild card, though he's clearly not ready to lead. And Sanders, he's close, but he must improve his processing speed and decision-making if he wants to survive in this league. My gut says Stefanski plays it conservative with Flacco in week 1. But don't be surprised if Sanders forces the issue by week 6, maybe in that revenge match against Pittsburgh, just like Garrett Bush predicted. Either way, this kid has Cleveland dreaming again, and that alone is worth celebrating. So, Dawg Pound, what's the vibe? Is Shedeur Sanders ready to make history and lead this team into battle right out of the gate? Or do we let the veteran hold the reins while the kid soaks up wisdom? Can this 5th-round steal become the franchise quarterback we've been begging for? Or is it too soon to crown him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like, hit the bell. Let's get this conversation howling louder than a 4th-down goal line stand. Let's go, Cleveland. It's time to unleash the dog. Thank you, guys. See you next video.